Hey guys, it's Bex. Welcome to another video. We are going to be doing kind of a mashup of things in this video. I am going to be talking about my November reading wrap up. I read 8 books and they were mostly really good, and I have a little mini book haul for you. And the last thing is that I made myself, or I decorated like a little reading corner, and I filmed myself doing that. Not a lot of stuff, you'll see, but just like a mini little reading corner. But I think it looks really cute, and that's the reason I'm right here, because I didn't want to show it yet because I already did that. So we're going to go to past me when I decorated my little reading corner.
Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Dreaming every night like the last time. So I end all my days with you. Yeah, we should share a backseat in a taxi to get home. No need for either of us at this point to sleep alone. 'Cause I don't like
That was pretty good. This one sucks. You guys just saw, I put these shelves up because I sit in our bedroom a lot and read just because it's quieter. Sometimes my husband's out there in the living room watching something or whatever. Also for filming, I film in here a good amount. So my backgrounds are always just the plain wall. So I figured I would make it more bookish and switch around the room a little bit. My dresser was over here, but I moved it to where my book cart was. And then I moved my book cart over here. I think it looks a lot more bookish now. And then I have this cute little print from Etsy. I will try to remember to link the Etsy shop in the description box if you also want it. It's so cute. I was gonna put a candle here, but I decided to put my little TBR jar here. I mean, it's right next to my TBR cart, so it makes sense. And then I just have my favorite series, the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, plus an extra special copy of A Curse for True Love. Oh, hi, Sammy. My cats are like, what is going on? Because we were like drilling and blah, blah, blah. This one is uneven, but hopefully it's not enough to where you can tell, and it's not enough to where it makes the books like fall or anything, so I think it's fine. This one's pretty good. I also have this other extra small one that I could put up here, but the problem with that is that you wouldn't be able to see it anyway in my videos because it's so tall. You can't even really see this one unless I'm like filming really far away like this. So I think for now I won't. Plus, even if I was gonna do it, I wanted to wait to put these up just so I had a better idea of where I wanted it and what it would look like and blah blah blah. But now I have all this stuff here that I'd have to move because when you drill into the wall it like makes a mess. And then it would get all over my books. So I just decided that I would at least not put this up right now, maybe in the future. I also have this ottoman for my feet that I usually keep in the living room, but I think I am gonna keep it in here because I don't really use it out there anyway. It's more just Sammy's bed. She likes laying on it. But yeah, this is kind of cute to read. I would like to maybe get like a lamp and put it in the corner right there to have like a little light for if I don't want the full light on. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I like it. All right, now I know you can't really see it, but obviously this is my little reading corner that I was talking about. But now that you've seen that part, we're going to go straight into my November reading wrap up. I have all the books written down because I don't own all of them, and the ratings so that I didn't forget. But like I said, I read 8 books. I had 2 5-star reads, 2 4.75s, 2 4.5s, and then some in the 3-star range. Really good reading month. 8 books in general is really good. That's the most books I've read in a month. I was hoping to get to a 9th, but the last book I read took me a little bit longer to read, but we were doing so good at the beginning of the month. I think I read like 3 books within like the first week. But the first book I read, well, I finished it in November. I had started it in October, was The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. This was a 4.5 star. And I know, by the way, that I read a lot of these in videos. So if you want to hear more thoughts on the books, I will have those somewhere in this video, whether it's in the description or a little card or something. But this is a standalone YA, like magical fantasy about these 3 sisters who were assumed to be witches centuries ago, and therefore they were drowned by the people of their town. And to get their revenge, every year since then, for like a month, they come back kind of in the form of stealing a girl's body, and therefore they then have the ability in their new forms to take a boy from the town and drown them, basically as revenge. And there's like a little love story between this girl Penny, who lives in the town, and this boy Bo, who comes to town very unsuspecting of anything that has happened over the past however many centuries. And she kind of takes it upon herself to kind of protect him from being one of the boys that's taken. Things get revealed, which I was not expecting. And yeah, overall, I really liked it. It was very unique, good for the fall, but also it takes place in the summer. So I know that doesn't really make sense, but obviously the cover, witches, screams kind of fall. Besides it taking place in the summer, it doesn't really scream summer to me. Like the descriptions of the scenery in the book or anything like that aren't very summery, really. So read it whenever, but I liked it in October, November. And I actually have another book by her that I want to read for the winter. So who knows, maybe she'll become one of my new favorite authors. Next book I read was on my Kindle, and that was One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and this is the first book in the Shepherd King duology. Whoops. Both of the books in the duology are on Kindle Unlimited, and I'll actually just talk about both of them because I read both of them in November. Basically, you are following this girl, Elspeth Spindle, who lives in this like mist-locked kingdom where the mist is like dangerous, and there are also these 12 Providence cards, they are called. These cards are very powerful, and there are certain cards that are more common because there was more of them made, and then there's some cards that there was only 1 made or 2 made or so forth. And the one card that no one has been able to find for a long time because there was only 1 made of it is the last card that they need, the kingdom, the king, whatever, to join the whole deck of Providence cards to therefore lift the mist and kind of cure the kingdom. And Elspeth kind of joins forces with this group who have their own agenda sort of for finding the cards kind of under the nose of the king. And she joins them because she has like a special power that will help them. These were also really good fall reads, highly recommend, and they were so good. The first book, One Dark Window, I rated 4.75 stars, and the second one, called Two Twisted Crowns, I rated 5 stars. These are fantasies and they have some romance in them. And then the next one I read was Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. This is also a really good fall read. I am a very seasonal reader, so I was trying to read a lot of fall books. This is another standalone YA fantasy with romance, and this follows Tana, and she is a part of a coven of witches who live on this island kind of away from the mainland and away from the non-magical people. And her coven has gone away from practicing like powerful magic, and they kind of stick to little spells like different teas that make you feel different like emotions, and perfumes that kind of make you remember certain memories, stuff like that. And they are very against doing like more powerful magic, but Tana meets this boy Wolf who claims he is from the old coven who practices dark magic, Tana and her coven call it, which is basically just like more powerful magic. And she, being very desperate because of something that happens, kind of has to get Wolf's help to get her out of a sticky situation. And and she just kind of learns a lot about him and his kind of magic, and I absolutely love this book too. It wasn't quite 5 stars, but I rated it a 4.75. Really like this one as well. Highly recommend. Then the next one I listened to on audiobook, and that is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is like a fantasy murder mystery, which is very unique. I feel like I haven't read a book where those are like the main genres. Like the mystery aspect was the main like plot point, but then there's also fantasy elements. Like there are certain people who have certain abilities, like our main character, Din. I can't remember his full name, but his nickname is Din. And Din works for this investigator kind of as her right-hand man. So he goes to check out this murder that happened under very curious circumstances, and basically his like ability, he's called an engraver, and he can basically remember every little detail and like everything he sees after the fact based on like smells, if that makes sense. It's kind of confusing to explain, but that obviously makes him a very good like investigator because he can remember exactly what he sees, and sometimes he doesn't realize something's important until later on, but then he remembers that. So him and the main investigator, Delabra, they're just trying to figure out the murder mystery and who is responsible. And I liked it. Maybe it would have been better read physically. I don't know. The audiobook was pretty good though, but I rated it 3.5 stars. So I still think it was very unique. It was pretty entertaining. The beginning was a little bit slow for me, but it definitely got better at the end. So yeah, 3.5 stars for that one. Then I read The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry, and I rated this at 4.5 stars. This was really good as well. Like I said, I read lots of good books in the month of November, and this basically just follows the life of A.J. Fikry as the title suggests, and he basically gets this package left for him at his bookstore one day, and it kind of changes his life. Really, it's just a very character-driven story. There's a little romance in there, and it was very heartwarming and cute. Better to go into it kind of not knowing what to expect, I think, because even if you read the summary, it's very short and it doesn't give a lot away. Then I listened to another audiobook, An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. This is a mystery thriller about a bunch of different guests who all go stay at this hotel, and when they're there, a snowstorm hits and power goes out, and among that, one of the guests has turned up dead, and then another one turns up dead, and so forth, and you're just trying to figure out if one of them is responsible, or is there an unwanted guest somewhere that they don't know about that's doing it. It's multiple POV, and a lot of, the guests are kind of sus. You're like, oh, you might have done it, like usual with these kinds of books. And it was a good book to read in the winter because the snowy atmosphere, and it was just like your classic murder mystery. You're stranded, someone dies, you have to figure out how to stay alive and who killed them. And I rated this one a 3.75 star. And very lastly, my favorite book of the month, I read Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This is the third and final book in the Red Rising trilogy. This was my favorite book of the trilogy. I don't know why it took me so long to pick this one up because I loved it. I read the first 2 books in the series earlier this year / last year. I can't remember exactly, but I know I started them last year, and I've just loved all of them. But like I said, this was my favorite. I rated this one a 5 star. This one, you're just continuing to follow our main character, Darrow. And I'll just kind of explain what the first book is about. So Darrow is a red. There is like a caste system, kind of. He's the very lowest caste. There's like, I don't know, at least 10 different castes of like colors. So red is at the bottom, and then gold is at the top. Him and all the other reds live on Mars, kind of underground, sort of, and their whole lives are spent kind of mining Mars to make it habitable for like future generations. But then Darrow finds out that Mars has already been inhabited by the highest color, the golds, and he goes on this journey to like infiltrate the golds to try and kind of get back at them, make them realize that they're no better than the reds or the lower colors, and it's like war, battles, politics, crazy stuff happens every 20 pages, and this book was definitely no exception. But yeah, absolutely love it. Oh, and this whole series is a sci-fi series. There are more books in this like world, but this is the final book in this specific trilogy. Like the story is kind of complete after this book. So happy to finally finish this trilogy, but I definitely will be picking up the other books in the saga because I just love this world and Pierce Brown's writing, and it makes you cry and smile and have every emotion possible. All right, and then lastly, I have my little mini book haul. So I have 3 books to talk about. The first one is Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. If this name sounds familiar, I read The Wicked Deed by her, which I was just talking about in November. And this was the book I mentioned that I want to read by her in the wintertime. This, I don't exactly know what it's about, but it's on my winter TBR, so I figured I should buy it. And it was like $10. It looks like it follows Nora Walker, who is rumored to be a witch. Oh, it's kind of similar to The Wicked Deep. She and the Walker women before her have always shared a special connection with the woods. This special connection leads her to Oliver Huntsman, the same boy who disappeared from the camp for wayward boys weeks ago in the middle of the worst snowstorm in years. He should be dead, but here he is alive and left in the woods with no memory of the time he'd been missing. Nora soon realizes that she has no choice but to unearth the truth behind how the boy she has come to care so deeply about survived his time in the forest and what led him there in the first place. But Oliver has secrets of his own, secrets he'll do anything to keep buried, because as it turns out, he wasn't the only one who went missing on that fateful night all those weeks ago. There's like a little review from Stephanie Garber, who I love. A spellbinding tale of witchery, deadly secrets, and woods that hold grudges. Winterwood is immersive, atmospheric, and bewitching. It sounds good. I hope I'm gonna like it. It's like 300 pages. I'm excited. Then the next one I have to talk about is this hunk of a book, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit intimidated because it is very chunky. It's like, wow. It's like 700 pages. But I've heard good things, so I'm excited. I love fantasy books. It says it's book 1 in the series. I don't know how many there's supposed to be. I don't think any of the other ones are out yet, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, don't know what it's about, but I've heard good things. It says it is a fast-paced fantasy romance featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. Rave is an assassin for a rebellion group. Her job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter turns her world upside down, blood spills, hearts break, and Rhea finds herself imprisoned by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae who turn her into a political statement. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Can Vagor took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. I don't know if that's how you say her name or not, I'm just guessing. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to the story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. Sounds interesting. I bet I'll like it. And the last one, I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this in this video or another video that I have coming up, but it is actually a blind date with a book. I have had it just sitting on my TBR cart. I haven't opened it for a couple weeks now, and I was just waiting to do it on camera because I just think that's so fun. I believe I got this from Etsy. They had a bunch of different genres to choose from, and you can link your Goodreads, which I did because I wanted to make sure I hadn't read it yet, which I doubt I have, even if I didn't do that, because I've only read a couple holiday romances, but that is the genre I picked. It says an antique shop, and then it says it's a 3.2 star rating on Goodreads, which is honestly not that bad for being like a holiday romance, so I'm not mad at that. It's so cutely decorated. It's got a nice pen and a cute little lavender. Oh, that's such a pretty color. Highlighter. Oh, it's a little Christmas bookmark. I love it. A sticker. So it's just a little Christmas tree. Is that it? That's probably it. I got like, oh no, there's a couple more things. I got like there was different tiers, but I got like the not basic one, but also not like the one that has like, I think there was some that had like hot chocolate and I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. Ooh, got some sticky tabs. I don't think I have these colors. We have a little reading list. I think this is kind of like a bookmark too, but that you can write the books you've read and a star rating. Oh, that's just a little follow us on Instagram. This is by Mystery Book Owl, by the way. And then cute little snowflake sticker. I think that's it. Hopefully there's nothing else hiding in there. But I guess I'll find it if there is. All right, let's open this thing. I'm so excited. I like don't want to rip it, but I'm going to. Oh wait, look, there's another sticker. Santa. Ooh. Oh wait, I've heard of this. I should have showed you guys first. Whatever. Yeah, I've heard of this. A December to Remember by Jenny Bayliss. I don't remember what it's about though. So let's read it. This cover is so cute. 3 bickering half-sisters, one unique antique shop, the coziest holiday season of their lives. Wildly different half-sisters Maggie, Simone, and Star have hardly seen one another since their sprightly, don't know what that means, summers at Rowan Thorpe, their eccentric father Augustus's home. Known for his bustling approach to the knick-knack shop he ran, Augustus was loved by all and known by none, not even his daughters. Now, years later, the 3 estranged women are called upon for the reading of Augustus's will and quickly realize he's orchestrated a series of hoops through which they must jump to unlock their inheritance, the last thing any of them want to do. But Maggie and Star desperately need the money, and who would Simone be to resist? Through hilarious goose chases, small-town mishaps, and one heartwarming winter solstice celebration, love is in the air if only the 3 sisters can let themselves grasp it. Wait, that actually sounds really cute, and I'm literally, even the back and the side of the cover is like decorated. I love it. Okay, I'm so excited. This looks like it's like a 400-page little Christmas, I guess, romance, even though it doesn't really seem like that might be like the main plot of it, but I'm fine with that. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing about the books I read last month, the little book haul, and me decorating my little reading corner. I made do with what I had, the space I had and stuff, but I think it looks cute. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!